Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Don't play with her, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not understanding.
This video, we'll be talking about statement of purpose or letter of intent, depending on what your school calls it. And SOP is a critical component of your application that can make you or break your chances of getting your dream program or into your dream institution. So I would want you to take this video as a tutorial on how to write a compelling statement of purpose that would actually sell you out to the search committee. And we have here my husband who would be guiding us on how to write a compelling and a narrative statement of purpose that can sell you out just by seeing your document. So I would leave the introduction part to my husband. So Simon, would you like to introduce yourself, or should I go on to
Yeah, I
introduce you?
think at this point, I'm already a familiar face on this channel. But my name is Simon Okediji. For those who are just meeting me for the first time, Simon Okediji.
Yeah, so Simon Okediji. So go on. Is that all you want us to know about you? Can you tell us about your degree or what you have, and why you are my guest speaker for today?
Okay, well, you made that decision. But I'm a current doctoral student at Georgia State University. I have my master's degree in rhetoric and composition, which is an aspect of English studies. I graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria, and for the last 3 years, I've actually helped a lot of people, in reviewing their SOPs, brainstorm with people, help people think about how to approach this vital document in their application process. So I'm very delighted to be here today, and I look forward to an exciting conversation with my wife as we talk about this vital component of your application.
That was a very long introduction.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no, but it's fine. It's fine. So let's just get right into why we are here today. So can you briefly explain what statement of purpose means for those that are just hearing it for the very first time? Right. So can you just tell us what it means and what the SOP should contain, the components of that document. So
Thank you for asking that question. I normally tell people that they should treat their personal statement like the way they treat their cover letter or application letter when applying for a job. When you're applying for a job, you want to write and express your interest or your intent while you're applying for the job and why you think you are the right fit for that position. The same thing goes for your personal statement because it is a document through which you convey your interest, your intention, your objective, your past accomplishment, why you are applying to graduate school or graduate program, to the specific graduate program at that particular point in time. And so just treat it because they don't see you, and the only document they will only assess and evaluate your suitability um, in terms of their program alignment through what you present, and your personal statement is just one of the components in addition to your letters of recommendation, your curriculum vitae, or your resume, as the case may be. And to go straight to your second question, I think different people have different ways of approaching the crafting of the personal statement.
yeah.
But ultimately, everybody agrees that your personal statement should do one thing, should be able to present you in good light to the admission committee.
Yeah.
Present the best of your skills, So I think for structure wise now, there are four important things that you want to highlight in your personal statement.
Mm-hmm.
Number one is that, of course, you must be able to introduce yourself in a compelling manner. By introducing yourself, I mean talking about the program you want to do and why you are applying to that program. And if time permits, I can actually share the SOP that I wrote when I was applying for a master's degree in the US. And that personal statement actually got me like two master's degree, fully funded master's degree. And another thing you want to talk about after introducing yourself in your personal statement is your maybe your undergraduate or your previous graduate experience. Basically, talking about your academic background. And this is where you can talk about maybe theses that you've written in the past, a chapter or book that you have authored, and so on and so forth. You want to talk about, and you want to make sure that all these various aspects of your academic background are helping you to further make a claim that you are suitable for the program. Another thing is, what are you doing right now? For example, maybe after leaving college, after your undergraduate studies, you've gone into labor market, the job market, you've worked as a professional. So you may want to talk about it, especially if what you're doing currently is related to or relevant to the program that you're applying to. And lastly, I think you want to talk more elaborately about your academic interest and maybe your research interest. At this point, you should have a particular question that you want to answer, or a theme that you want to explore, or a problem that you want to solve. For example, if you are a chemistry major who is applying for PhD in the US, and maybe your own area of interest, revolves around medicinal chemistry, and you want to provide a cure to cancer, you want to talk about it. And it's also very important for you to identify one or two professors in your target department who are working in that area, who will potentially be able to guide you.
Yeah, that was a great answer, and to just reiterate your point, the component for writing SOPs should be your motivation, right? Your motivation.
Okay.
Also your academic background should be there. Your professional work experiences, like it will be your internship, your volunteer work,
Yes.
your like undergrad leadership experiences. So don't cut that out. Like they're also like looking to know like if you were involved in college as well.
Correct.
And lastly, like it could be your while the school, while the program, while the college, while the environment you get. So you could actually like write about it. And also relating your research interests with a faculty or with a professor within your program is actually like very necessary, as my husband has said. So this will take me to my next question. My next question about writing a catchy introduction when drafting your SOP. What do you think about that?
To get your question right, are you asking about how to write a catchy introduction?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, honestly, I think different people will have different approach, So, but ultimately, regardless of your approach, you just want to make sure that you are communicating in a compelling way. You can start your own with an anecdote, but just make sure that it's very short. Some people start the question, especially when you are, for example, maybe I just want to give an example. You are an example of a chemist that I gave the other time, and your research interest has to do with the finding solution, a more realistic solution to cancer cure. You may want to start a particular question like, imagine a world without, cancer, something like that. So regardless of your approach, I think you just want to make sure that you communicate your interest. and more your motivation. Whatever approach you take, then it's solely dependent on it. And that's where I'm going to emphasize, the need of letting people read your work, having people to review your work for you so that they can tell you what is maybe good or not good enough about your introduction and even the entire document. So there's no one straight, one answer fits it all or one size fits it all answer to that question. But ultimately, what I do, the way I approach it is to make sure that from the beginning, I don't want to be hesitant. I want to communicate my intention. I want to tell them, why I'm applying for this program, why it is important, and what it means to me.
Yeah, thank you so much. And this actually reminded me of when I was writing my own, and I made use of I am a Nigerian. I am from a low income family. I am this. I am that. And I said, each word describe who I am, and that word was actually being referred back to during my interview with the admission committee. That okay, they saw this, they saw this. So can you explain more on what you meant? Because that sentence actually caught our attention, and we really wanted to know why you used those words. So the way you introduce yourself, because you're not there to defend yourself, so you have to use a catchy word that might pique their interest. So thank you for sharing. And if it's okay by you, can you share your screen to show us your award winning statement of purpose?
Here is my SOP, the one I wrote in 2021 for the 2022 fall admission. Like I said, different people have different approach, and you don't have to feel compelled to follow this particular structure. Just keep in mind that the key thing is you should be able to effectively communicate your objective, your intention, your intent, and also provide information about your previous accomplishment. So I just started. So when I was talking about the structure, I talked about introduction. Here's my introduction. The introduction does not necessarily have to be, my name is Simon Okediji. No, it doesn't have to be. It's just why this particular document. So then I just started straight away by saying that our objective for applying, because they already know that you're applying. So our objective for applying degree is this and this and this. Then I use this place to actually talk about my research interest and how it has driven me to this very point, this point of my life, to apply for a master's degree in rhetoric and composition. Also, the other time when we're talking, we talk about, then after introducing, telling them about why you're applying for the program, they want to talk about your academic background. Here, I talked about papers that I've written. It doesn't have to be a published paper. It doesn't have to publish papers. If you do not have, you don't necessarily have to say that. You can just talk about school, talk about research that you did, in your undergraduate degree, talk about something that you have done, a work that you have done in your lab, a major discovery that you've made in the past, so you can talk about that quickly. And so the next thing is give an insight about what you are doing currently. In my own case, I was a content writer at that time. So I think there's a point where I talked about my content writing job. And lastly, I talked about, why the school. Then I talked extensively about my academic interest. Talked about also the professors that I would like to work with because their research interest align with mine. Yeah. Then I give specific examples of the names. For example, I'm just going to read this out quickly. Can I?
Sure, you can go on. Go for it.
All right, so I say my motivation for applying to the English department is the satisfaction I have knowing that the broad coursework perfectly aligns with my research interest, and the fact that some well-respected members of the faculty are already working on in these research areas. Once at UA stands for the University of Alabama. Yeah. I hope to engage with the works of leading professors like David Bexor, Amy Dating, and particularly Amber Box's works on new media and identity. New media and identity focuses on how social media shapes our identity. I would like to work on something similar to this from the perspective of how Nigerian youths are using social media platforms such as Twitter to discover their unique role in our democracy and advance discourses that hold political leaders accountable for their actions and inactions. So basically, that's just the structure, and that you can, and please feel free to show your work to people that you trust who can provide insight and guide you to write a very effective SOP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that piece, because I believe that that piece is actually very meaningful to you, and it is a piece of you, like it is part of your own who you are. So thank you for showing that on this platform. And I would also want to just show them some few resources that to guide them on, because some schools actually your success in gaining the admission at the very end. So I'll just go straight in sharing some resources with you that I have here. And these have this SOP guideline on their website. So please feel free to research on your school website to see if they have a structure provided. And few of the schools that I've researched on are on Cornell or North or Western University, Rice University. Like we have a lot of them that have or like written some drafts on how your like SOPs should look like. So don't forget to always like check that, and don't forget to check the rubrics of it. Like it really matters, because you have to follow their guideline that you have to write 2 pages. Please write 2 pages. Don't write 1.5 pages and thinking that that you've written 2 pages. 1.5 is different from 2 pages. 2 pages is 2 pages. And also like if they are requesting for you to write some numbers of words or sentence like 1,000 words, 5,000 words, don't or like write 199 word and say like you've written like what you want to write. So try to meet the rubrics, because those are the things that would contribute. Okay, so this is one of the schools. Here we have Cornell University, and here is the grad school page that actually like gives a detailed information about statement of purpose. And here it is specific academic statement of purpose. So you can see what is it, like the definition attributed to it, and the importance, the information that they would like to see in your SOP. So you can always like go through the school website to see if they have this very important document. As you can see, the tone, format, and the length, which actually like matters a lot. These are the rubrics to follow. You have to like pay attention and follow instruction very carefully. Every program is different and some have specific items, topic they want you to discuss. Yes, some school actually like have a topic for you to discuss. Some already have questions on their website for you to answer, and they might not want you to write about yourself or your interest. They just want you to write basically about that topic on the website. So you have to like check your admission requirements to see the rubrics and what the school is actually like requesting for. And this is for Cornell, and this is for Northeastern University. So they also have one for this. So we all have like, so they have it like brainstorm your ideas. They have like good stuff here for you to just read. And here they even like break it down. They have an outline, introduction, and attention grabbing hook. You see like the body, the conclusion. Write the first draft. Like everything is just here for you to like to work with and to help you to get and to help you succeed in getting your application materials ready. So and here we have rice. Yes, this rice actually they did a very great job as well, writing the killer statement of purpose, like just read it through, so you can get like different ideas from different resources. Here we have it's made of purpose should address the following question: why do you want to obtain a degree in chemical engineering? For those of you like considering this program, how are you, why are you interested in rice and in department? Why do you believe you'll be successful in either, like this or these things, these questions are what should be answered if you are considering applying to this program or to this institution. So just
Yeah.
like take note of this, and and I can just like tell you that you are good to go. So this is all about Rice University. So before we end this video, I would want you to talk about the common mistake to avoid when drafting SOPs. Like, what are the common mistakes to avoid? And is it good to use AI to draft SOP? Because that is the new trend right now. People using AI to write, to do stuff. So
Yeah, so I think a lot of mistakes, but the common one is I'm a grammar person, so and most of these folks that will be reviewing your work, they are interested in effective communication, and you may not be able to do that with a flawed, grammatical, constructions. So especially if you're coming from Nigeria, you're coming from Africa, they have certain, section or perspective about people who are coming that maybe they are not that proficient in English. So you want to make sure that you don't avoid grammar mistakes, typos, edit very well. So the only way to overcome this problem is to make sure that you take your time to proofread your work, to edit your work, and make sure that it is devoid of common, grammatical errors such as wrong use of preposition, wrong use of articles when you're supposed to use a, and, or the. So you just want to make sure that you do the right thing. So grammar is one, and another thing is that when people don't really, when the when people undersell themselves, you don't want to undersell yourself. So if you have done something that is related to the program that you're applying for, so don't shoot, just blow your own trumpet, talk about it. And not just talking about it for the sake of talking about it, but talk about what you are able, the trajectory, the process, what you learned, in the process. So I think you underselling yourself or not talking about your accomplishment enough is a common mistake that people make, and you just want to make sure that you avoid it. That's why I will ask you to take stock of those things that you have done, the internships that you've had, the opportunities that you've had career-wise, and so on and so forth. In fact, the promotions that you've had, bonuses that you got as a result of job well done or in your current job, and so on and so forth. You want to talk about it. And another thing is this: that sometimes people, maybe you're applying to Rice University now, or you're applying to Cornell, then you put Harvard on it. And so wrong attribution, just wrong placement of names and so on and so forth can be a very bad sign that, this person is not organized, this person is not meticulous enough. So you want to be meticulous to the point of, okay, make sure you're submitting the right material to the right university. So I know it can be overwhelming, especially if you're applying to like 20 universities or 10 universities. So if the number is so large, then you made that mistake. So that is why you want to make sure that you are painstaking when you are editing. Know that, okay, you can have a folder. So I will tell you, have a folder naming each material based on the school that you're applying to. So this is not an exhaustible or an exhaustive list of common mistakes that people make, but it's just some of the mistakes that people make. And I'm talking about AI. I would say AI can be useful in some. I'm not the type. I believe that AI has come to stay. So, and it's not entirely bad. It all depends on how you use it. So when it comes to telling your story, don't use AI. You want to infuse your storytelling with emotion. and AI may not be able to do that successfully. But when it comes to editing, maybe for grammar, given that AI will not change your tone
Yeah,
entirely
the
and
tone, yeah.
impose its own thing on you, so you can actually, because software such as Grammarly, they now have some AI embedded in their software, so you may use it for editing, in terms of correcting grammar, using the right proposition and stuff like that. When it comes to generating your own idea, please, I will encourage that you do that yourself organically, do it manually.
Yeah, thank you. And using AI to correct your grammar, do not replace you giving your trusted friend to proofread your document
Yeah.
for you. Please, don't just rely on using AI to correct those grammars.
Mhm.
But make use of your trusted people, your friends, your professor, your supervisor to go over your documents to see if there are errors, getting their own different perspective about what you've written. So thank you very much, Simon. We are glad that you are able to share your knowledge with us about SOP, and thank you once again for showing your well-written SOP with us, and we've learned a lot from you today. And I hope that the tips that we've shared today will be of great use to our viewers. And this is the end of today's video. So thank you very much, and um, subscribe to my channel, all of you that watched this video to this end. So thank you. Bye.
Bye.